What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into the Sunday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault here on BettingPros.com. Always being brought to you by BetMGM. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt, or you can follow BettingPros on Twitter at BettingProsNFL. All right, so yesterday was kind of a weird day. So the half unit plays all hit. So we go 3-0 on the pod last night, except for the Derby, that was just for fun, but that was a loss. So technically 3-1, but half unit plays go 3-0. The little, $18 flyer. By the way, that was an $18 bet, not a $36 bet, $18 bet. But we got the 8 right, but not the other horses, unfortunately. So that 7 horse killed me. I had a bigger bet. I had a $50 to $54 bet going on a trifecta wheel, which I'd never bet before, but I was told as a friend of mine said, hey, here's a little birdie, go make that play. So I made that play, and well, the 8 horse was the right. I know some of you guys played the Medina Spirit just winner outright after I talked about it last night on the podcast, and you guys cashed that 12-1, 14-1. That's great. The best man of my wedding put $1,000 down on Medina Spirit. He was at the Kentucky Derby, and he won $14,000. So yeah, Andrew Sundberg had a pretty nice night. He had a pretty good night, pretty good trip to the Derby, coming away with $14,000 in cash, and the Instagram picture to prove it, at Sunny Spades on Instagram and Twitter to go see the picture of him holding up $14,000. So nice little trip to Lexington, Kentucky to the Kentucky Derby for one Mr. Sunny Spades. So nice job out of him, nice hit out of him, and yeah, so I've known him for quite a long time, and he was the best man in my wedding. So we had a pretty good a winning day, okay? Back-to-back winning days. We're not going to ever be angry about that, but the props were bad. Both my NBA player props didn't hit, and the one Major League Baseball player prop I added from Dan Harris did not hit either. So 0-3 on the props, which is kind of a bummer. I hate baseball right now. I am betting a game in baseball today, but I don't like baseball. It's just sort of one of those things right now where it's just really hard to consistently find angles and winners, and it's very inconsistent. Dogs continue to cash, and even player props. The strikeout props, I don't like them. I just don't, and I just don't like them at all. And I'm gonna play them very sparingly. I think baseball props are a little bit of a ruse, and I don't think it's profitable at the moment. I think NBA player props way better. The one thing that we have to now acknowledge is, like last night, the Boston Bruins won on the puck line against the Buffalo Sabres. That was the last time the Boston Bruins are going to face Buffalo. That sucks because we made quite a bit of money betting the Bruins on the puck line against Buffalo. And now we've got I think Boston only has 6 games left in the entire season. We are coming to the end of the regular season, and then we go to the postseason when everything really changes. So I'm a little bit bummed out about that, that we got to find our plays and bets and jump in here on the right places for the next week or two, because we've done very well in hockey, and I want to end the year strong and not have what happened in football, where I was tremendous in the regular season and then I fell apart. Just fell apart. I was up 11 units in the regular season and then lost 9 in the playoffs for the NFL. That's just unacceptable. So I'm hoping that we are able to get a good regular season for the NHL and then get winners in the postseason as well, and unlike what I did in football. So that's me crossing my fingers. Hopefully that we're gonna wind up getting there. There are 2 fights going on right now, and just me personally, I have a couple of personal plays on the UFC main event and the heavyweight fight between Ruiz and Chris Arreola. So if you hear me go, whoa, maybe there's knockout punch that I'm going to see here. I had Andy Ruiz on my radio show, and I'm happy for the guy. He seems very much at peace. He seems like he's in a very good place, and we'll see what the weight loss. He lost 40, 50 pounds over the course of a year and a half. Sometimes you can become kind of chinny when you lose that much weight. You don't absorb punishment the same way. But maybe he's faster, quicker, more athletic, can go longer. The total of that fight is 6.5. It's a heavyweight fight, so it still feels like the under is the play there. It's only minus 130 for the under. I think the books are a little bit confused as to what to do with Andy Ruiz at this new weight at heavyweight, even though he still is a big guy. Is he going to be more mobile? Is he going to be able to move around more? Or does he get clipped with one shot and go down, much like what happened with Joshua, where basically he got stunned and Anthony Joshua was able to essentially run away from him for enough rounds to win it just on the scorecard. So we'll see how that heavyweight fight goes tonight between Arreola and Ruiz. But let's start. I've got 3 bets for you guys today. I will be back with NBA player props today later on the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to get into that if you want to hop in there on the Discord channel. But let's talk about the Knicks and the Houston Rockets. And I think where I'm at here, we were on the Warriors yesterday against the Rockets, -7.5, and that cashed. We're going back to the well here on this, and I'm deciding to say, look, I really do believe that fading the Rockets right now, maybe for the rest of the year, is the right move. The Knicks are taking on Houston today. The line is 8, and I know there's been some money. It opened at 9, and there's been some money that came in on the Rockets here. The Rockets are 22-42 against the number. The Knicks are 40-22-1. And over the last 10 games, the Knicks are 9-1, and on the road they are 19-11. At home, the Rockets are 8-25 against the spread. I'm not going to get too in depth here with this. They lost by 26 points in the last game at home yesterday to the Golden State Warriors, covering that 7.5 point line for us. Knicks need this. They're battling for playoff position. They covered in their last game as 4-point favorites at home against Chicago. They won by 19. Last time they were on the road, they took on Dallas as 6.5 point dogs. They won by 8. Game before that against New Orleans, they were 2-point dogs. They won by 10. I just think the Knicks had that little hiccup against Phoenix. They picked right back up again with Chicago. I just think they keep going here. I'm not going to overthink this. I'm not going to get too crazy with this and start to go, maybe they're mad about what happened yesterday on a back-to-back and they're going to play better. And the line's 8, -110. I'm not overthinking this. I'm taking the Knicks -8 on the road at the Rockets because the Rockets are just awful. There's just no other way around it. The Rockets are just absolutely awful. Knicks -8, play number 1 in the NBA. Play number 2, let's go to baseball. And let's talk about the Boston Red Sox, who lost yesterday up against the Texas Rangers. Now, these are situational plays for me with baseball, okay? And it's my team, so I know my team the best, right? I watch every game, and they lost 8-6 to the Rangers. So they lost the first game 4-1. They came back and won 6-1. They lost last night 8-6, okay? The Red Sox have in the 4-1 loss, they just couldn't get going offensively. Busted out the next game. They scored 6-6 the last 2 games. I think Boston's going to score here today. But more than that, I really think that Garrett Richards has something going right now. He's been pitching really well. And this is a dude that when he gets rolling, he can really spin a breaking ball. And it can be tough for teams to face him. And I know that he has, some people in the Boston media have been pretty critical of him. He's 1-2 with a 4.94 ERA, a 1.6 whip. But really, that had a lot to do with his first start, which was pretty bad. So over the last 2 starts, Richards hasn't been that bad for the Boston Red Sox. And on the road, the Red Sox have been a pretty good team on the road so far this season. So if you look at Richards, his last start, he went 7 innings, gave up 1 earned run, 1 run, 7 hits over 7 innings, 10 Ks. I mean, he was good. On the road, Richards he started 3 games so far, 14 hits given up, only 3 earned runs in 3 starts. So, I mean, that's significant, right? I mean, we're talking about a nice opportunity here for Boston's starter to keep them in the game, stay out of that bullpen, and then get after it when it comes to this pitching staff for the Texas Rangers. The run line for Boston is plus 122. I think they're a big favorite for a reason. I think they'll win. I think they'll score a bunch of runs here today. I'm taking Boston on the run line at plus 122 to take on the Texas Rangers and hope for Garrett Richards to have a really nice performance for Boston. And there's only one hockey game on the entire schedule, which is a little bit shocking, right? You're like, really? Only one hockey game on the entire schedule? And yeah, it's only one hockey game on the entire schedule, and it's Tampa Bay on the road against the Detroit Red Wings. So the trends here, the number is 5.5. It's even money to the over. The over is 6-0 in the last 6 meetings in Detroit between these two teams. For Tampa Bay, they are 6-1 to the over in the last 7 games as a road favorite. Detroit, they have seen some under money come in here a little bit here, but the over is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings overall between Tampa and Detroit. I mean, goaltenders don't matter to me all that much. The game's on NBC. I think we see offense. I think it's a 4-2 win for Tampa. I think we get to the over. You can play the puck line if you want on this. I think Tampa does wind up winning. It's just I don't like the puck line right now is minus 126. And I know I paid that yesterday for the Boston Bruins, but that was against the Buffalo Sabres, and that was a very situational bet for me. I don't like doing that. I don't like laying juice on the puck line. I mean, so it's I'd rather play the over. Even money on the over at 5.5. I think we get 6 goals. I think we'll see quite a bit of offense here for both these teams, both Tampa Bay and Detroit. We're going over 5.5 goals here for Tampa and the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, so this is going to be a day where I'm going to have NBA player props. I may have an ad or two going on. I'm not going to get into NASCAR just yet. I'm not going to get into not going to get into golf right now. And, we're in the wake of the NFL draft. We've got a lot of different things we're going to be watching with you guys. And, this is when the grind begins. Okay. Now that we're getting into into May, late spring, May, June, July, these are the desert days of gambling. All right. These are the times when you just have to be disciplined. You have to try to manage your bankroll properly. You want to keep yourself going heading into the NFL season. The cool thing about the draft, it's an awesome reminder that we are not that far away from the start of the NFL season. And there's a lot of things that can change. I mean, heck, Aaron Rodgers could wind up, playing for a different team coming up next year, which would change everything. But there are games to be played, games to bet on, but you don't have to bet crazy, okay? You don't have to go nuts. Be patient, be practical. Don't go crazy just because, okay? Don't bet on 5-10 games a day just because. Don't bet on every fight that's out there just because, all right? We got big UFC fights coming up later on in the month of May. We got big boxing matches coming up later on this summer. We got a lot of really cool things to go. So you want to pace yourself. We got the NBA playoffs. We got the Major League Baseball season, and we got the NHL playoffs all still to come. The NBA's got the month of May. I need the Golden State Warriors. I'm watching that Golden State Warriors ticket. They got to get hot this week. Got to play well this week to get us there, to get that 37 wins. Maybe I'll take 36 and take the push, but got to get the 37 wins for that. I think it's 36.5 or 36. I got to check, but I need 37 wins regardless. And they got the 32nd win tonight, right? Or 31st win tonight. Let me check that real quick to see what the Warriors got with that win today. The Warriors now have 32 wins. I need them to win 5 more games, okay? 5 more games for the Warriors. I need Steph to be Steph. And this team has winnable games. That loss to the Timberwolves was disgusting on Thursday, but they got back-to-back games, Monday, Tuesday at New Orleans. They've got to win those games. Those are playoff games. And then Oklahoma City, they've got to win the next 4. They got to go 3-1 over the next 4 games. And that if they go 3-1, they'll be sitting there at 35, and they'll have a chance to win 2 of their last 4 to get in. To get me to 30, or not, I guess no, sorry, I need 5 wins. So they go 3-1, and then 2 of the last 4, to get there to 37 wins for me for that over with the win total for the Golden State Warriors. So we're watching that. We got the Vegas Golden Knights for them to win the division. I haven't checked into that in a while. Let me check the standings real quick because Vegas is playing right now. They're up 2-0, and on Arizona, and Vegas is up by 2 points on Colorado. If they win tonight, they'll keep that. It's in the third period. They're up 2-0 in the third. They'll keep that 2-point margin. And then Carolina's up by 2 points on the Florida Hurricanes as well in the Central. So that's a bet that we've got there. So we've got Carolina. We've got the Golden State Warriors. Got the Vegas Golden Knights. They're all right there. They're all coming down to the very end for us when it comes to future wagers, which is always a lot of fun. So we'll be watching it. All right, to recap the bets for today, we will have the player props going in the Discord channel, bettingpros.com/chat to hop in the Discord channel. Knicks -8, -110. Red Sox run line +122. Over 5.5, Tampa Bay and Detroit, even money going for today. All half-unit bets for us on a Sunday. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter @SportsTalkMatt. Each and every single day, it's the Daily Juice Podcast right here on bettingpros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.